Welcome to Ghana First Media. We place Ghana before anybody else. We say it just as it is without fear and favor. So if this is your first time on this page, please subscribe to the channel, like the video and share it just so others may also know and hear what is going on in our political space here in Ghana and of course beyond.
When are you guys going back to Parliament?
I recall date there, we don't know. But there is an emergency recall tomorrow we're supposed to do a one-day sitting. I'm sure it's to approve Okobo and his people and then approve loans. There's some garage 200 million or 150 million that they've been chasing us that we should approve for them. So, I mean, that's really why they're calling us, but this is to approve them. That's why they couldn't do it earlier on because they didn't have the numbers. They had to wait and do a GISU. So tomorrow they were going just one day. But Randy, even that one, there are issues that we need to discuss. There are critical issues that Parliament needs to look at because you see, I am worried that the Speaker is calling Parliament to come and consider business of the President, business from the Executive, that the President has written to Parliament, telling Parliament that he's nominated Okoboy and a few other people, and we are coming to listen to it. I'm going to stand tomorrow and tell the Speaker that Parliament has no business listening or responding to any request from the President.
Why?
We should render the President persona non grata and ask the clerk. I'm going to demand from the Speaker tomorrow that the clerk of Parliament writes a letter to the President and his Executive Secretary, issuing a cease and desist warning to them. That they should cease and desist from writing any communication to the Parliament of Ghana. Randy, look, and the Speaker must take this very seriously. Parliament is not an appendage of the President's office as Executive President. And the President is behaving like a monarch. He's behaving as though he's an absolute monarch who is both executive, legislative, and judiciary all in one. But that's not who he is. That's why you see him tell chiefs to stand up and greet him. And now he thinks that he can write to Parliament, a constitutional body, and tell Parliament that our constitutional mandate, which is that Parliament must transmit its work to his office, they have the effrontery to write to us and tell Parliament that we should cease and desist. And you have a pliant judiciary that is in the pocket of the Executive. Randy, the facts must be stated carefully in this country. Look, we must be straight in this country.
There's a difference between speaking fearlessly and stating the facts.
Yes.
There is no basis for you to assert that the judiciary is in the pocket of the Executive.
Should I tell you? I have basis. On Monday, 23rd of April, there was a meeting in the office of the President. The President was present. He was there. He met members of my coalition that worked on the LGBTQ bill with me. The heads of the Methodist Church, the head of the Presbyterian Church, the Catholic Archbishops Conference President were all present in that meeting. And in that meeting, the Deputy Attorney General, Asunadapa, told them that they should relax because the court case that Richard Sky and Amanda Odoy have filed will not be completed until after the elections this year, until next year. Since when did the Executive?
Were you in that meeting?
I wasn't, and that's why I have mentioned people. And again, if the the Catholic Bishops Conference President is there, he's not someone we don't know. Danny, and I'm very careful what I'm doing. I'm mentioning their names because they stood up to him and said, but Mr. President, the other cases that went, Richard Roxanne Dafameko's case went also after Richard the last guy's vote. The Supreme Court was able to hear it quickly. Why can't they hear this one? They challenged him on it. And that's what I'm saying. There are people who we know. I said the head of the Methodist Church was there.
Yeah, but how does that statement by the Attorney General buttress the point you make that the judiciary is in the pocket of the Executive?
Randy, we can either
choose. There was no member of the judiciary at the meeting, as you have said.
Randy.
No member of the judiciary has made that statement.
Randy, they don't need to make the statement. The actions need to tell us. The fact that the Chief Justice could hear Roxanne's case, which went weeks after Richard Delaskai's old and Amanda Odoy's case. And then the Attorney General is strong enough to tell heads of churches that the case would only be completed next year. Since when did the Attorney General or his deputies know what the timing of court cases in our country, in our court ought to be. And Randy, this thing, we can choose to play the ostrich here. You can say, oh, Sam, it's not right, Sam, withdraw it. But everybody knows in this country that nobody trusts our judiciary. And we must begin to speak
but you have
in
still
that
not
manner.
giving me evidence that the
I have
judiciary,
given you evidence.
No, you've still not given me evidence.
The fact that the Attorney
the
General
judiciary
can tell,
is
no, Randy, the fact that the President himself did not stop the Deputy Attorney General when she made those comments and said, no, you cannot make that case, means that the President himself is complicit.
Yeah, but
and I've given you the dates of the meeting.
It's still not evidence.
Maybe Randy, it's not evidence enough for you. For me, it is enough to prove to me that our Attorney General seems to have an overwhelming influence on what even the determination of a case will be.
So Sam,
a case before the judiciary.
Sam, the point I'm making to you is that I cannot stop you from forming an opinion on the basis of what you know.
Yes.
But it is not appropriate and not right for you, on the basis of that to make an emphatic statement.
That
I have a problem. And I think that you need to withdraw that.
That what?
That the judiciary is in the pocket of the executive. I've given you the opportunity to demonstrate that. You have not provided me with any evidence. If you're saying that ABCD happened, on the basis of that, you have formed an opinion that A is A, I will not fault you. I hope you appreciate the point.
So Randy, what you are saying is that I should say that my opinion is that we have a pliant...
I'm saying that you made an emphatic statement.
Yes. That I believe that our judiciary is in the pocket.
That emphatic statement is not backed by evidence. Kindly withdraw it.
Randy, I withdraw it, but I can make my opinion made known to you, right? So I've withdrawn the statement you find, you think that I have not formed basis for. I believe that based on what I have seen and what the Ghanaian people know, and what we all know, your constitution, that our courts. And Randy, you see, I'm saying, look, we in this country, the president, I'm sitting here and criticizing the president. We criticize the president. He's the head of the executive. We criticize the Speaker of Parliament. He's the head of the legislature. Why people think that we cannot criticize the judiciary? There is nowhere in our constitution where it says that we cannot hold the judiciary to high account. Oh, is it not the same judiciary that themselves have admitted and punished their own judges who are able to take contumely and goats to give judgment?
Yeah, but Sam George, I hope you are not suggesting that I have said that you cannot criticize the work of the judiciary.
I'm not saying that's what you say. I'm just saying that I'm establishing the fact that it is not wrong to criticize the judiciary. But the judiciary itself has not clothed itself in glory.
No, Sam, nobody has done that. And I have had cause to critique some decisions of the judiciary.
Yes.
So
I'm happy we're on all four.
That's why I said that. My issue with you, what I asked you to withdraw, is the statement that the judiciary is in the pocket of the executive. I think that
which I have done.
Yes.
Which I have done. Yeah. But Randy, the fact must be stated that nobody in this, let me not say nobody, majority of Ghanaians, majority of reasonable Ghanaians have no faith and trust in our justice delivery system. Justice appears to be for the rich and powerful in our country. And that in itself is a big threat to our democracy. And so I believe that Parliament must not entertain anything, because can the President's Secretary write a cease and desist to the judiciary, to the Chief Justice? Yet they write to Parliament. Then that same President is going to turn around and write to us and tell us he's traveling. And we will take his document and work with it. If the President would treat Parliament with contempt, Parliament must treat him with contempt equally. Because you see, Parliament remains the only bastion. And Randy, I keep saying that when we say we have a democracy, the whole democracy we talk about, democracy, it is Parliament too. It is not the executive, it is not the judiciary. Because when you have a military ruler or a military hunter in control, the executive remains and the judiciary remains. The only thing that is not present in a military dictatorship that is present in a democracy is Parliament. And so when the president continues to undermine or attempts to use his actions to undermine the independence, we must begin to call out the president and say that the president himself is acting in ways that are unconstitutional. And what the president says, and you see, the reason I'm asking myself the questions about the judiciary, Roxin goes to the same Supreme Court and says, I want an injunction on the Speaker of Parliament. He should not approve Okoboy and his colleagues. In less than a month, the Chief Justice empanels puts a panel up and says, oh, we are throwing your case out unanimously. Why? Because And on this one, I must state, the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice were correct in their interpretation of the law. That you cannot place an injunction or stop a constitutional body from doing its constitutionally mandated business. So Parliament is supposed to, as a constitutional body, review appointments of the president. In fact, that's what the Constitution says. So the Supreme Court says we cannot stop Parliament from doing it. Yet that same Supreme Court is dancing around, doing musical chairs, in determining whether the president can stop Parliament from fulfilling its mandate in Article 1066. What kind of hypocrisy is this? Which kind of country are we running? Is this a banana republic? Look, our agencies of state, be they the executive, be it parliament, and be it the judiciary, need to begin to rise above the fray and need to begin to act as though we hold the offices that we hold in trust for the Ghanaian people, not because we are better than the Ghanaian people. But you see that attitude of, I am this, I am that. You are the Chief Justice, I'm a judge of the Supreme Court, so what? Is it not the Ghanaian people who pay you? Should you not work in the interest of the Ghanaian people? And should the Ghanaian people not have the right to demand that you work in their interest? They dangle that thing of contempt over everybody and think that we use that to gag everybody. No, it is not constitutional. There is nowhere in the Constitution where it says that we cannot hold a view that is critical of our judiciary. And we must come to that place where we demand of every public office holder who is paid with our taxes that they act in the interest of Ghana and not in the interest of anybody. Not in the interest of the NDC, not in the interest of the NPP, in the interest of Ghana.
Are you going to approve Okobo and his people?
You know, I vote, you know.
You vote?
Me, Jomojino, I don't know what my leadership is going to say.
Okay.
But left to me, Oba vote mo fiamo. Oko enyemini, shi enele Oba vote mo fiamo. Ke amena 138 137 e batom. She Oba vote mo fiamo. Me Jomojino, but I don't know what my leadership when we get there. If our leaders say we should go and say yeah, we'll follow the leaders. But if you ask me, Sam George, we should vote on every single one of them. And in fact, I think that the Speaker of Parliament, again, let me use your platform. Mr. Speaker, the document that came to you asking for the recall of Parliament, have you asked the clerk to verify the signatories to be sure that people actually signed that document? You know, Parliament, our standing orders say that we can be recalled if you have 15% of members of Parliament sign a document to recall us. And I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying that maybe the Speaker may be interested to ask our generals and Hansard departments to verify the signatures on the document that came to him, to see if those signatures are genuine. Maybe now, few only be.
Anche, send Mokomo, if you
Oh, send Momo.
Member.
Can you imagine?
Manche, mene, Elena,
it's that TV, no, it's send Momo.
Manche, emergency. Well, Elena,
because this one that you were carrying is not Ghana flag.
Health insurance card.
Okay, hospital.
Health insurance and no kwendo. On have health insurance former national health insurance boss. Your own constituent needs to go to hospital. Health insurance card.